so much toes.
I don't know, I always do.
Got more ass to sit on.
That's it.
I can't have this in 7 pillows.
You ready? Hola, ¿cómo estás? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ree and I create conscious lifestyle content.
Why you stop talking?
Why are you looking at me?
I just want to look at you.
This is Travis, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about our must-read books. I've got quite a few questions about like my top books and stuff like that, so I figured why not bring Travis in because our books are kind of different, so I wanted to have it from like 2 perspectives. And also, I just wanted to make sure, I want to say that this is going to be like very brief. Like, we're not gonna sit here and talk y'all heads off about every book. We're gonna just mention them a little bit and then talk about our experiences with them, and like that's it. We're not gonna keep y'all here all day long. So the first book I have is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. This is like one of the first books I ever read when I first got into like my wellness journey and my self-help journey. So basically what I really like about Jen is that she is very, very relatable. Like, she tells her story, like kind of like, I guess, from her experiences. Basically she really wasn't making the moves in life that she wanted to make. And I was kind of in that same situation like 4 or 5 years ago when I first picked up this book, and I learned about meditation from this book, talking to the universe, and just like my entire spiritual journey. Like, a lot of it was inspired from this book. Of course, I did my own research, but a lot of like my mental health and my spiritual journey and just my overall well-being, it was really inspired by this book. Like I said, Jen is very relatable, very comical, so I definitely recommend this book if you are trying to get into like a wellness journey, or yeah, just tap into who you truly are. I definitely recommend You Are a Badass. Was that good?
Yeah. You immediately look over me.
Was that good?
So, one of the most beautiful books I ever read, which was very surprising because I thought it to be more of a hard-hitting book about liberation, but this is Asada, autobiography of Asada Shakur. She is a famed member of the Black Panther Party and relative to Tupac.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool too to say Ken Tupac. I got this book along at this time with a couple other books by or centered around black women. I wanted to, you know, kind of further understand kind of the life that my daughters were going to be going through. When I got into this book, like I said, it surprised me with how beautiful it was. It really is a great story about liberation, not just for black people, but all people of color and all women around the world. It's a really good read for anybody who needs something to uplift themselves, and you in the mindset you want to uplift community as well and learn about the history and the movement to free my people. Really good read.
That was a really good, like, that was good. And he keeps trying to get me to read that book, but for me, I've started it, but I can't go through it with y'all because I've talked about this previously, like on Instagram. I'm an empath, and it really pains me, and it's traumatic for me to hear about the experiences that our black people went through as far as racism goes and like murder. Like, it really pains me to like read that, and I want to say at some point I have to, but like, do I really have to like get into that? Like, if it hurts me, you know, I don't know.
I know, but that's what we say our taste in books
are different.
But you said, I don't know. I feel like every black person should be looking into it. But I get the pain you talking about. Sometimes you just want to close your eyes and look away as if it never happened. But
well, not look away, because I know that it happened, and I'm not trying to like just forget that part of history. Like, cause I know it happened, and I know what black people went through and still go through to this day. But like, just reading about it, same thing when George Floyd, and like people post like the actual murders of black people on the internet. Like, even though this isn't a video, it's very like, I have a photographic memory. So
I get that, but to take one of your words, it's more like, cause I was like this at first too. But it's not that people are like, oh, I know what happened. No, we assume what happened. We think we have a general knowledge of how it was. But when you dive into books like this, I've also read the autobiography of Malcolm X. Women Race Class by Angela Davis.
Living and Dying While Black in America by D. Watkins. We read that together, like when we moved to Texas.
Yes, it was a 7-hour trip.
And we read the entire book.
But like I said, there is a difference between assuming and then actually going back and getting the real knowledge of it. Two different things. I think all people, especially around the world, because oppression is happening everywhere.
Absolutely.
Read up on the liberation. Be a part of the liberation movement.
What did you say?
Nothing.
Okay, so the next book, I guess I'll go with Transcending Kingdom by Gayatri. I cannot pronounce her name, but I actually just finished reading this book, and when I tell y'all, I related to this book so much. Like, it was really crazy. She's a black author. I really want to, and I have started reading more fiction books here lately by black authors. Previously, before I finished this book, I finished The Vanishing Half. I forgot by Brit. I want to say it's by somebody named Brit. I will put all of them in the description box below. But I've been really on a fiction book like wave, I guess. Yeah, but basically, so the character of this book, her name is Gifty or Gifty. I think it's Gifty. She is Nigerian, but she was raised in Alabama. To make a long story short, her brother died of a heroin overdose. Her dad left him at a very young age, went back to Ghana, and then her mother became clinically depressed. And she is just on a quest to really figure out how the brain works and figure out, like, I guess why her brother could not say no to heroin. It was a really, really good read, and every page I wanted to learn more. I wanted to know more. Sorry if this wasn't like the description of the book really was like went that in depth, but
I think it pretty much was.
You think it was? But I highly, highly recommend this book. It just made me kind of think about some of the things that I went through in my childhood, and yeah, I highly recommend this one.
Alright, moving into my next pick is this, The 4 Gifts of Anxiety. I read this book about, I'd give it probably 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years
probably
ago.
2.
I'm always reading up and trying to study up on anxiety, because that's something that has definitely affected and impacted my entire life. Well, a lot of my life didn't know what it was, but you know, as I got older, started to reach out for information, and I found this. It was the first time that anxiety was ever introduced to me like a gift, and the other time it felt like a curse. I had to bear it every day. But this book really did help transform my idea of what it was, and how to kind of use it to my advantage, and how it kept happening to me, and when it does happen in crippling ways, how to prevent it, how to slow it down. Got me to the point where I was okay. Like, one of the driving notions of this book, you might live with anxiety, but it doesn't have to bother your day-to-day. You can control it and manage it way better with a read like this. So if you're having trouble with anxiety in your life, this is a good one right here to get the understanding, seeing the gift that's in it, so you can help yourself and then, you know, possibly help others. This is a good book. I like to say this is like a pass along book. Once you read it, gift it to somebody else.
Okay, my last but absolutely not least book is The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. If you've been following me, if you know me, I talk about this book so much. I even bought this book for friends. Like, I highly, highly,
got like 3 copies of this at the house.
Highly. One of them is the library's copy.
Not no more.
That's trifling. But I highly recommend this book, y'all. This book completely changed the way that I think, the way I view the world, and it really helped me to unlearn a lot of the conditioning that I have went through. Deepak, that's my boy.
And
you read this book
and
too.
I read this book as well. Actually, it did change for me. The biggest thing was it changed my value on the word success, on what it meant to be a success. You know, it really helped with that. You know, it really did calm me down. Because I feel like at that time I was at a point where, you know, you get to a point in life where you want more things and you feel like you should be at this point. At that point, it really did help me appreciate my journey, who I was, and, you know, what I did have.
Yeah, this book has also taught me about like gratitude. The more that you practice gratitude, the more abundance will come into your life. Also taught me about moving with fear versus love. Like, that's literally, I wish I could find that page. You just read an excerpt for y'all. But like, that's literally my favorite. Oh, here we go. Here we go. One of my favorite parts of this book is when he's talking about self-referral versus object referral. I'm not gonna really get too in-depth about what those two things are, but just a little part that I have highlighted. Your true self, which is your spirit, your soul, is completely free of those things. And when he says those things, he's talking about the need for approval, the need for external power, and those things are based on fear. It is immune to criticism, it is unfearful of any challenge, and it feels beneath no one, and yet it is also humble and feels superior to no one because it recognizes that everyone else is the same self, the same spirit in different disguises. Drops mic. I highly recommend this book. This isn't a book that like I've just read one time. I go back to reference it several times, and I love it. Highly recommend.
I definitely do too. Really good book. My last book for you guys today is The Alchemist. And this one right here is like widely accepted as one of the best books of all time, really. Classic book. Every time I get to looking for books, this is always one people recommend. Like I said, classic. The Alchemist is a beautiful story of a young boy who goes on a journey. I don't want to give you the whole spiel, but he goes on a journey basically to find a treasure, but he ends up finding something a little different. This is a dreamer's. This is like, I don't know. If you like gangster movies, this would be like The Godfather for you. Like if you was a dreamer. If you like basketball, this would be the NBA Finals. This is an amazing book for every dreamer out there. This is one you take. It's another gift one too. It really is. It's another gift one. It's not that long of a book, so it's a great weekend read. Maybe like 170 on the pages, 160 somewhere around there. But for anybody who has a dream, on a dream chase, or if not, you know, you just want to look and get inspired, you know what I mean? The Alchemist is one of the best books of all time. Go get this. So that is our book list at the moment. If you guys want us to do a part 2, just let us know and we would love to do that. Anything you need to say? You holding your money up? You holding your books up together? One thing I do want to say is very simple. Read. So many times in life, we go through life and we assume things. We do not actually know or study the things in which we chase. Is that a quote? No, but it should be. It should be a quote. But not like for real. Read, dog. Read whatever you into. Read about it. Photography, whatever it is. You know what I mean. If you're trying to get your bag up out here, get you a finance book, dog. Read about money. Study it. You know what I'm saying. If you're gonna try to get a bag out here. If you want to be whatever it is, read. It's so much. Despite us having computers in our pockets, that they don't have anything on these. Yeah, bro. This will always be king. These will always be where they hold the knowledge at. Partially because they know people not looking. Reading trumps a lot of things. Please read, people. Young generation, old generation, Generation Y, X, Z, whatever it is. Old generation? Every generation, read, my nigga. Please read. Please read. Yeah, what he said. I highly recommend reading. Especially when I want to like not be on the internet. Like it helps out. Reading is like this. Books are way better than social media. Like period. I said what I said. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate. Say for the Healthy Hoes, we'll have a book club coming soon. You just said it. Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not overdoing it, but we hope to have a book club very, very soon for our wellness brand. And can they post an emoji if they for the book club? Yeah, post a book emoji if you for the book club. Got a book emoji? There's a book emoji. There's a book post emoji. A book emoji if you would love to see a book club for the Healthy Hoes. Yeah. But anyway, thank you guys so much, and we will see you. I'll see you. You're probably going to be somewhere near in the next video. Anyway. Talk to you guys later. Bye. I don't really care about your candlelit movie scene, rose petal bath, medium ring, your stain sheets. I don't want to hear about you and Mr. Perfect and the way he rubs your feet without you asking. Was I asking? I don't want to know how he kisses you right, or the way he holds you up against the wall like Starry Night, or yeah, oh my God, he really wants to marry me. He knows how to cook and he's taking me to Italy.